What's up, guys? Stephen G here. Before anything, I finally got a camera, so I finally will be able to make more videos, longer form videos for you guys. But I did promise you guys in my first video that I will go into more detail about my story, about how it was that I went into DYS, which is juvenile detention, how that I come home, then ended up going back into prison, and how life was after coming home from prison, and where I'm at now, and how I'm planning to surpass the middle point, which I'm kind of in that middle point right now where I'm trying to just take off, you feel me? And I'm in that process. So I won't go back. I'll start where they started getting a little bit interested, where I kind of like jumped off the porch. And for those of you that don't know, that basically means when I finally started like hanging around in the streets and doing dumb shit. It was around 13, 14 years old. And it all started with I had like this fucked up vision for myself where I was like, for some reason, I want to become one of the biggest kingpins in my city. I don't know why, but I just wanted to. And I was like, and by no means that I ever become a big ass kingpin or anything, don't get me wrong. And I am not promoting anything that has to do with the streets. I'm not advising you guys to go out to the streets and do anything stupid. I am just sharing my story for you guys so you guys can learn from my mistakes and don't make the same mistakes. So, I started smoking weed around 13, 14. And during that time, I was like, yo, I'm smoking weed. These guys were buying the weed from someone else. I could just sell this shit to my friends, and worst case scenario, I'll smoke for free. And so I started doing that. I found some connections, and I was like, you know what? I started buying, trying to sell weed and all that dumb shit. And eventually, I was like, wait, but there's really no money in here because I smoke too much. I smoke way too much. I'm smoking all the profits. Sometimes I'm not even making sales. Like, what's going on? Like, there has to be a better way. So I won't go really into detail because I don't want this video to get like taken down or anything. But I progressed from that into other things. I was like, no, there has to find something that I don't consume in order for me to make some money off. And that's when I went into other things that excuse me, that might get you hyper or might bring you very, very low. You feel me? If you could put two and two together. So I started doing that. This was around, first of all, I started smoking weed around 13, 14. Then around 15, I started selling it. And then around 15 and a half, I started looking into other things where I could venture off to. And keep in mind, I was always like 120 pounds, 130 pounds, very skinny, very, um, what's the word? Very unconfident with myself because I would always get made fun of, which is funny because when I was a little kid, I used to be like, people would try to bully other people, and I used to be like, nah, fuck that. What you trying to do? What you trying to do? On some little gangster type shit. But then once I got a little bit older and I realized that I stayed the same weight, I stayed the same size, and everybody else got bigger. Then I went into high school, and everybody would be like, well, not necessarily in high school, but like in middle school, seventh grade, eighth grade, everybody would. I had just came back from the Dominican Republic. All right, there's way more that you guys need to know. So at 9 years old, I went back to my family moved back to the Dominican Republic, and we stayed living over there for about 3 years. Then we came back to the States. When we came back to the States, it was a switch because I was basically the new kid in every school I went to, which was kind of the situation with my whole life growing up until I reached high school. And I went into this grammar school in like a white people area, and I was fine. And then I went, and then my parents moved. We moved into Lawrence, which is literally just a street down where we used to live, but there's like a border, Methuen and Lawrence, and they didn't want me to stay in the Methuen school. So I had to go to the Lawrence school, and I was like, all right, well, is there a way that I could go back to the school where I was when I was like 8, 9 years old? and it was a little bit too far from where I live, and I had to go to the district to the school that belonged to like that little section or district, whatever you call it. So I went into this ghetto ass school, fucking, and motherfuckers was way bigger than me. I was like, what the fuck? How most of these motherfuckers is bigger than me, and they'll try to bully me and all that shit, like because I was so small, like go like this to my wrist, like yo, look, it's so small, or whatever, like do the Michael Jordan, do all that dumb shit. And I was like, bro, like these motherfuckers is about to like make me spaz out somehow, some way. Like I just came back from DR, and DR we find any means to like get back, and whether it's rocks, sticks, bats, we don't care, right? But anyways, I didn't do any of that. Then eventually I hit high school around um 13, 14, hit high school, and I started getting into the weed, smoking weed, and doing all that. Then eventually going into 15, I started like realizing like, yo, nah, fuck that. I want to get into like more deeper shit in the streets. I want to like make some money because I'm over here. My family, like we always have food on the table, but we broke as fuck. We don't have the nice Jordans. We don't have the crazy cars. We don't have nothing. We they provided what we needed, but we didn't have none of the like luxuries. So I always wanted that. So I was like, yo, how am I gonna get it? And I got a job working at a grocery store, but like that was making no money for me whatsoever at all. And I was like, bro, I need a way to make some money, like some real money. And I was like, but I went into like this type of stage in my mind that I had like this delusion where I wanted to be that motherfucker, right? So I got a connection. The weed thing wasn't really working out, so I got like I started getting plugged in with certain people that, and everybody was older than me, and I started like doing other things. Eventually, some money started coming in, some money started coming in. I kept doing it, I kept doing it. 17, I met, I was in a better position to like really make some money. And that's when I really started making money, and people started noticing, and people started to wanting to be around me and all that stuff around 16, 17. And I always had a shit ton of weed. I was always smoking a shit ton of weed, was always like down to let's go out drinking, let's go party, all the stuff that um I guess I was probably doing to feel or to like fit in a way. Fit in, but it's weird because I never was the type to be like, oh, I want to fit in. I was just like, man, fuck y'all. Like, I don't go fuck about y'all. What the fuck is he talking about? Like, so it's weird that stage that I still to this point can't describe why I moved the way I did. It could have been something to do with um, insecurities or being shy because I was always really shy, or being um, just really immature and growing and wanting to be around the wrong people. Not necessarily growing up around the wrong people, but choosing to go out of my way to hang around the wrong people so I could learn the things that I wanted to learn and be in the position that I wanted to be in. And long story short, I got locked up in juvenile detention at 17. And the state of Massachusetts, how it works is when you get locked up in juvenile detention, you either get indicted or you get committed. If you get committed, you get committed till 21, which means you stay in the system till 21 years old, whether you come home or not. You're part of the DYS system till 21. Normally, if it's your first case, you get committed to 18, which means that you stay in the system till you till the age of 18, which you age out. Not necessarily means that you have to stay in a juvenile detention. For example, if you're 15 and you get 6 months, you get out at 15 and a half, but you still remain in the DYS. Like you'll have a social advocate, you have to like do check-ins and stuff. It's like a type of probation. But anyways, since I was 17, I got caught with a shit ton of drugs and whatever, right? I got indicted till 18. I was already 17. I got like 7 months, but I was able to age out, which is the fire part. I aged out. I came home before my time was over. So I was like, bet, it's fire. My brother put me on with a job at an auto body shop, which was pretty fire. But I kept doing my thing on the side. Kept doing my thing on the side. And one day, we were at this club. The Spanish artist was performing at one of the clubs. And keep in mind, I'm 18 at this point. One of the Spanish artists that was popping at the time was performing at one of the clubs. This was like in 2018, 2017, 2018. And he pulled up, and we all pulled up over there because it was like, oh yeah, he's popping right now. So we all pulled up over there. Big fight broke out. Bottles, hookahs, everything was being thrown. Shots was being fired and everything. So nobody really knew like who was really involved, but a whole bunch of us ended up getting a warrant put out for us for a fray and what is it? Assault and battery, whatever, right? All of us ended up getting the case dismissed. So that happened, and then since I had a warrant out for me, I didn't know. I went into work, and the cops pulled up to my mom's house looking for me, and my mom hit up my brother like, "Yo, cops are over here looking for this kid. What did he do?" And my brother came and told me, he's like, "Yo, the cops are looking for you. What the heck did you do?" And I'm like, "What the heck did I do? I don't know." And I'm like, well, they're most likely gonna pull up here, so I got in my car and I dipped. And just like that, they pulled up there. They were looking for me. Obviously, my boss called me talking about, yo, come in. They just want to talk to you. But I already knew that they didn't just want to talk to me. So I obviously lost that job. I was like, fuck it. I'm making more money in the street anyways. Fuck is they talking about? So I ended up going into getting a lawyer, going into court. The like it was on a Friday, so I went into court on Monday so I could do whatever the fuck it was that I needed to do to get arraigned or whatever and not have that warrant out for me. So I get slapped with the charges. Long story short, I kept doing my thing. I kept being a degenerate in the streets. I kept partying. I kept drinking. I kept smoking. I kept doing my thing. I kept doing my thing. And one day, I was getting so many signs, and I was neglecting all of them. You know that feeling when you get in your gut when you're like, something feels off, but you can't quite put a finger on it. Like I don't know what it is. Something felt off, and a lot of it was like God giving me a message, like, yo, stop, go do something else. Yo, stop, go do something else, because a lot of things were getting in the way. Where I'm like, yo, what the heck, and I'll have to figure out how to get back into the motion. And I'm like, everything was being lined up to where like I should just have been like, man, fuck this shit. I'm not even gonna keep trying. Instead, I was like, yo, nah, fuck that. Let's figure it out. Let's get back into it. And I was in I live in Massachusetts, so next to Massachusetts is New Hampshire. I was in New Hampshire in a hotel, and we hadn't ate all fucking day. And I was there with my shorty. Well, I was there with my ex shorty, and I was there with her friend, which was what my friend as well, and my one of my boys was gonna pull up, which is gonna kick it. Well, during this whole time, keep in mind, I was making all this money in the street. I was fucking homeless. I was homeless because I didn't want to bring that negativity around my mom's house. So it's like it's either I stay there and basically fuck up whatever she got going on, with like her job and her business and shit. And I was like, man, nah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. So I dipped out. I was like, I'm not gonna fuck up whatever you got going on because I want to be a degenerate. So I got up out of there, and I was staying like at hotels. I was staying at my boy's crib. I wanted to get an apartment, but I was so young that nobody would give me an apartment. And I was like, damn, what the fuck? And plus, they didn't know nothing about credit. They didn't know nothing about all that. So basically, this whole time, I was homeless. I was sleeping either at my boy's house. I was sleeping in my car, and I spent a shit ton of money in hotels. So it wasn't necessarily that we was at a hotel to get lit. It was because, like, that's where I was gonna sleep. Like, where else am I gonna fucking go? So, anyways, I was hungry, but I was willing to wait till the next day. But my shorty was like, no, no, I'll go get us some pizza. I'll go get us some pizza. My ex shorty, at the time. And I was like, all right, fuck it, you could go. So she got in my car. She went. I completely forgot. I was so tired. I was so fucked up. I completely forgot that there was something in there. She went in the car, started driving. Whether she was speeding or not, I don't know. But the cops pulled her over, said that she was speeding, said the car smelled like weed. This is in New Hampshire. Weed is discriminalized. They said the car smelled like weed. They kind of harassed her to search the car. She didn't know any better, so she let them search the car. They found what they found. They arrested her. And then she told them where I was at. So, like, I don't even blame her for, like, obviously, like, whatever. It is what it is. She told her where I was at. They pulled up, like, 2, 3, 4 hours later. I was like, what the fuck is she? They pulled up, like, 2, 3 hours later. They knocked on the door. I thought it was her. And then when I went and opened the door and I see these white guys there, I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, do you, know anything about a Acura TL? It was at this time I had a gray Acura TL. Um, do you know anything about a gray Acura TL? And I was like, yeah, that's my car. Why? And they went into the whole thing trying to tell me, oh, do you know anything about the blank blank that was found? I don't want to say it, but do you know anything about the blank blank that was found in the car? And I already knew. I was like, oh, shorty got locked up. They found what was in the car. I forgot that was in the car. I just remembered now. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, why? What's going on? What happened? And they told me, oh, do you know this person? They mentioned her name. I was like, yeah, that's my girl. And they basically went into the rundown telling me, like, what happened with her. And I was like, you know what? Like, she literally has nothing to do with it. Whatever found in the car, you guys could, like, charge me with it. But she has nothing to do with it. She just borrowed my car. So basically, they said, well, we already charged her for it, so we can't, which is weird. This is so weird. I don't know, like, much about that law aspect of it, but for some reason they said, well, from the time that we arrested her to the time we came to see you, there's too much of a gap. So we can't just charge you with it and bring you in because there's too much of a gap. So the charges, she's still gonna have the charges. You could go bear her out for $40, but you guys have to go to court. And when you guys go to court, the judge will dismiss her charges and will basically arraign you on the charges that were given. So you have to show up to court. If you don't show up to court, then you will have a warrant out for you, and basically you will get arrested, and basically it'll be more complicated because she'll still keep the charges, and then we'll both have to be going to court. So I'm like, all right, whatever, whatever. So me, my boy, and the shorty that was there, we went. Keep in mind, they searched that hotel, everything. Thank God nothing was there. Um, we just had like weed bottles that we had already smoked all of it. So we went over there and we bailed her out. And I was just like, I felt like my life was crumbling, falling apart because first it was the other little bullshit case. Now it was this. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I went into like the depressive stage because I was like, damn, this shorty did some dumb shit. Well, I did some dumb shit. And now I'm going to have to like either figure out how I'm going to beat this or get ready for like, because I'm about to do like 6, 7, 8 years for this dumb shit. So I went into like this depressive little stage where I was slept for like 3 days. Literally slept for like 3 days. They would try to wake me up, bring me food. I was like, nah, I don't want it. Oh yeah, put it right there. Put it right there. I'll eat it. I was laying in my boy's crib, my boy's mom's crib. She walked into the room. She's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out!" I was like, "All right, I got out, and then I tried to eat. I couldn't eat, so I smoked. I smoked some weed. Then I had an appetite. Then I was able to eat, and then as soon as I ate, I threw up. And then after that, I was fine. I was like, okay, now I'm fine. Let's get back to it because I gotta figure shit out. Back into the same shit. Back into the same shit. Then, bang, some dumb shit happened. Well, no, now back into the same shit. During this whole time, this is like a week period, 2 week period. I'm like, damn, I'm kind of like falling off. I need to figure something out. So we was just smoking in the car. It's like it was four of us, me, my boy, my other boy, and my boy and my man's boy. Um, we were all sitting in the car, and I was like, "Yo, bro, you know what? I need to get a quick come up. So this is what we're gonna do." And bam, 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 broke down the plan, and we were like, "I bet." So we pulled up to go do something, and long story short, something else was already happening. One of my boys was fucking getting shot at near the place where we were going to, and he called us like, "Yo, bro, somebody, I'm getting shot at, blah 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 blah. um where y'all at?" Oh, he's like, "Oh, I'm on this street." And I'm like, "Wait, what? We're on this street too. We're like right around the corner." I bet. We pulled up. When we pulled up, his car was crashed. He had ran out. We were like, "Yo, where you at?" He's like, "Yo, I'm right here on the street." I'm like, "Go to the middle of the street so we could see you and pick you up and we could go." So I turned the block so I could go back down the street to see if I see him. When I do that, cops come from every single way and close out the street. And some lady there that I didn't know until I read the report said, "Oh, that car has passed by here several times." So then the cops were like, "Oh, hell no, what's going on?" So they're like, "Oh, no, you got to back up. You got to back up." So I started backing up, and I ain't even gonna lie, there was a big ass ice thing. My ass was so fucked up, so tired, so high. There was this big ass ice thing because it was during winter time. And as I'm backing up, I kind of tapped it, and then I'm going forward. And then the lady had said, "Oh, that car has passed by here several times," that which I didn't know until I read the report. And so they're like, "Oh no, wait, stop, don't go." And they say, all I heard was gun. And they reached out into my boy's pocket like this, and they pulled out a big ass gun. But I don't know if they saw one or if they just said that and just got lucky, because we weren't the ones shooting. We weren't the ones doing none of that shit. So long story short, we all got locked up. Each one of us, besides one of my boys, which he was we were like 18. He was like 16, 17. So he got through, but he still ended up getting locked up. But we all got locked up. We all got charged with a gun that they found on us. We go to jail. Now I'm thinking like, "Yo, bro, fuck. I got this case open for the fight at the club. Now this, I'm gonna have to do automatic 90 days." And in my mind, I'm thinking, "All right, bet, fuck it. It is what it is. I'm gonna do these 90 days." Because I gotta, when you catch a new case while you're technically out on bail or you're fighting another case, you have to do automatic 90 days. So I'm doing automatic 90 days. Plus, I know I got a different case coming up in a different state where I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck? Oh, this shit happening, bro. What the fuck is going on?" So I'm like, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna take it in the shin, keep my head up. I'm gonna do these 90 days and I'm gonna bail out. As soon as I get the bail, I'm gonna bail out." Um, and before, on the same day, the day before my 90 days were up, they come and wake me up. "Guerrero, you have court. Get ready." I'm like, "What court? A court for what?" So I get up. It's like 3 in the morning. I get up. I hit the shower. I'm like, "Yo, what do I have court for?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. In New Hampshire." And I was like, "New Hampshire? Oh." So I get a little bit excited because while I was doing the 90 days, I was trying to send letters out to the state court in New Hampshire so they could come pick me up so I could start fighting that case at the same time. That way I don't have to finish in Massachusetts, then get extradited to New Hampshire, have to start there from zero. I wanted to start flowing it at the same time. So I was like, "Oh, bet, that's what this is for. Great. Things are getting in motion." They finally received my letter. So when I go into like place where they cuff you up before they put you in the paddy wagon. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and there's two other guys there waiting as well. And no, like everybody leaves and we're still there. And then out of nowhere, they call me, they call them, and then we're there, which is funny because there is, well, I'm not gonna go into that, but there's these two marshals, U.S. Marshals there, like, oh, I was like, U.S. Marshals, like, what is this about? Like, U.S. Marshals for what? And they didn't really tell us much, but they were like, no, we just the U.S. Marshals are extraditing you guys to the U.S. federal court in Concord, New Hampshire. So, like, whatever. I'm still thinking it's about that, but something tells me, wait, it can't be about that. What the heck does that have to do with the federal? My shit state. So I'm getting a little confused, and I was like, and my shit has nothing to do with these other guys. So I'm a little confused until we get to the court. That we meet with the court appointed lawyer, and I'm like, they basically start giving us the rundown. Yo, are you familiar with the name? Oh no, they made a slick comment when they picked us up. They was like, yo, are you guys familiar with the name Brian? And I'm like, nah, who the fuck is that? But that was like the whole name that the whole operation worked under. So long story short, I could talk about all this shit because everybody's already been sentenced. Everybody did their time, and whoever is still in there is still doing their time. So long story short, I'm thinking about like what the fuck is going on, and then we get slapped with the charges. I see what it is, and I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not going anywhere. So long story short, I go back into the prison, into the jail, and I'm explaining to my boy what just happened. Yo, this shit just hit the fan. This happened. They raided everything. Everything's fucked. They indicted like 30 people. Look, I'm showing them all the reports and everything. They're like, oh, that's crazy. And I'm like, how the fuck am I involved if they didn't start recording? They didn't stop tapping the phones until I was already in here. Like, how, like, long story short, there was a whole bunch of bullshit. Like, but I'm not gonna mollify. Like, I did what I did. I had my part in it. So, like, let's not make excuses, right? So, anyways, back and forth. Long story short, and very, very long story short, I did my time. Ended up getting 6 years. I went to the feds. I wrapped up with the gun charge. I did my time served 18 months for your first gun charge. Then I was able to have them. They took the state stuff and they charged me in the federal. So I had to do 6 years in the feds. Good time. You get the good time out front in the feds. So you get, I think it's 15% of your time. It's good time plus programming and all that. So with good time and all that, I was able to get out in 4 years. I came home thinking about like what the fuck is it that I'm gonna do? What is it that I'm gonna do? What is it that I'm gonna do? Trying to mastermind. What is it that I'm gonna do? And then I eventually I got this. I was in the halfway house. Keep in mind I'm still in probation. I just put in my motion. I just sent in a letter so I could get early termination of probation because I got 5 years probation plus 6 years in. So I'm already in 3 years. I'm already gonna be like, yeah, 3 years and a half. So I want to get off it. That way I could travel wherever I want without having to ask for permission. So I got this bullshit job at a factory, which fucking sucked. I was fucking sweating balls, bro. Worst job I ever had in my life. And then I ended up just grinding it, make a couple bucks, quit that shit, and I got another job at a warehouse, which was cold as fuck. So I went from hot to fucking cold. And while I was there, I kept on like trying to figure out like how am I gonna play this game of life. I was in the halfway house. As soon as I got off the halfway house, I was like, as soon as I'm off the halfway house in Boston and I move back to my city, I'm quitting this job because I'm not driving all the way up to Boston every fucking day for work. But I ended up liking the job a little bit. It was pretty easy, so I stayed there. And while I was staying there, I was, without knowing, I was doing some type of self development. Without even knowing, I was doing some self development. I didn't know what it was. I was looking up videos on YouTube and learning from people that had some type of knowledge. And eventually, an opportunity presented itself, and I was basically like, in a way, manifesting a better opportunity at the job. And there was an opportunity that presented itself where I get to travel to different states. And for some reason, I was like, well, yeah, I'm not going to get to do that because I'm on probation, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, you know what? The worst that could happen is my probation says no. So I ended up getting the opportunity to travel. The probation gave me permission to travel for work. And I started traveling to all these different warehouses, showing them as a group called like special operations, where we like train them and show them how to go about the job, how to go about work, and help them get their numbers back up. And I was able to get that not necessarily through busting my ass, but through like manifesting and searching for something better with what I had already have. And then going forward, I kept like doing some type of studying, and it wasn't necessarily with intention. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of like asking the universe, and the universe was giving back, but I was also putting my part into it. Keep in mind, I was still being kind of a degenerate. I was smoking, even though I'm not, wasn't supposed to be smoking, drinking, partying, doing all this shit. But I wasn't doing nothing stupid, like in the streets or anything. Then eventually, like a couple years, not too long ago, I got introduced to like fitness and making fitness content and online coaching. And I was like, bro, this is what I want to do. I always knew I wanted to do something with fitness, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I'm like, bro, this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity. This is what I want to do. I want to help others get super fucking fit like I did. Because even though I had came home, even though I was in prison, I didn't get in the, I was working out like a beast because it helped me like control myself, and it brought joy and peace to me. But when I came home, I was still doing I was still drinking, I was still smoking, I was eating all the other shit. Keep in mind, all the stuff that I didn't have, I wanted it. So I lost like the shape that I had. And I noticed this, and I was like, and I had a whole bunch of acne, and I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on with me? I'm like killing myself. So I got back into my working out. I started eating cleaner and cleaner, and I started removing seed oils, and I started removing dairy, and I started removing all this stuff that was pretty much killing me. And long story short, I got introduced to the fitness stuff. I was able to get a job like through like just pure. I have no idea how. It was just through like pure manifestation and wanting and knowing that I was gonna get it. I got a job in a position where I'm a manager at a rental car company, and I get to have like this car is a company car. I could get to switch out my car every fucking day if I wanted to, and have a different car every day. So I'm like super grateful for that, but I'm still like in the position where like no, I want more. I I I want more. Like this is not what I want to do. What I want to do is help others through fitness and mindset, because I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. And then I started listening to other people, doing more self development with intention, reading books like Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, Jocko Wilkins, um, Discipline Equals Freedom, and all these books. And I'm starting to learn and learn and learn and learn. And to this day, I'm like still learning and learning and learning. I'm like, bro, fitness and health is so important, but if you don't have the right mindset, you won't get the right physique. You won't get the right job. You won't get the right income. Because I'm not smarter than anybody else. Well, I'm not smarter than like the average person that I grew up with. I'm not no lucky person. Like I literally fucking went through the mud. I literally went to fucking prison. I literally was fucking homeless. Money was up, but I was fucking homeless. I literally starved 1, 2, 3 days while in there. And I'm like, bro, if I'm able to do this just by like working on my self improvement, working on my self development, working on my physique, because once you work on your physique, your mind gets a little bit more clear. You start appreciating yourself. You start appreciating your your body. You start appreciating your health, and then you allow blessings to come in. Because how are blessings gonna come in when your body, your mind is filled with poison? And it might sound so fucking stupid and so unrealistic because there's so many rappers out there that claim that they do this, they do that, they're popping every pill, they're smoking all the weed, they're drinking. But you got to keep in mind that that's all marketing. Some of these people aren't really even doing that. Think about it. Some of these people aren't really even doing that. J. Cole said that he doesn't smoke no more. Fucking Lil Durk said that he doesn't smoke anymore. Like a lot of these people aren't really doing that. They're just rapping about it because it's the image they gotta keep up because it's what makes sales. But I'm like, bro, if I could do it, anybody could do it. And I want to show people how to do it. But they gotta understand that they gotta work on their health first. They gotta work on their fitness first, while working on their mind simultaneously. That way they could get the best of both worlds. And that's been my main focus for a while now, and that's just all I've been focusing on and perfecting my craft and learning and learning and learning, because the more I learn, the more I'll be able to share that information that I learned with. Not necessarily in a this is what I know, do this. No, but in a way that's like, yo, listen, this is what I learned. This is how it's changing my life. And you guys could apply the same principles. Like I was literally in prison, and most of you aren't. And I'm like way ahead of a lot of the, and I say this in the most humble way possible. I'm like way ahead of a lot of the people that I grew up with. And I'm so humble about it, they don't even realize this. Like, who else is getting a car every, gets to choose whatever car they want off a fleet? I don't pay gas, I don't pay insurance. And I say that like, I say that in the most humble way possible. Like, and I thank God every day for it. And it's like, yes, but this is just like the minor stuff. There's way more to come because there's way more growth to come. There's way more growth to come. It's like it's a redemption. And if I did it, you guys could do it. You feel me? Like I literally just explained to you guys how like my ups and downs is like a fucking crypto chart or a stock chart. It was like up, nope, down, up, nope, rock bottom, bottom of the barrel, the to the land of the forgotten men, to like up, 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 slow down, up, and it's just been constant. You feel me? And I know that is hitting that verge of just exploding all the way up, kind of like a chart, a stock chart, crypto chart. And I just wanted to share that story with you guys because I did promise that I was gonna go into a little bit more detail. So there might have been like 1 or 2 points that I might have left out if I did, and when I reviewed this video, I might add it to it, but. That's basically what I wanted to make this video about and tell you guys my actual story. That way you guys could relate in a way and either make a better decision that I did or start way sooner than I did into improving yourself, into improving your mindset, into changing your habits. You feel me? Because if you don't change the habits, you stay stuck in the same routine. And it's all about routines and systems. If your routines are the same, the routines that I had when I was 16, 17, you're going to get the outcome that I got when I was 18, which is not pretty. But if your routines are similar or better than the routines I have now, you're gonna get a way better outcome that what I'm getting now. And it routines, habits, mindset, fitness. Like, follow that script. Mindset, work on your mindset, work on your habits, work on your nutrition, and then work on your fitness. Literally what I teach. First starts with the mind, then let's fix your habits. Let's make sure you got the right nutrition, and then the fitness is the easy part. The fitness is the easy part. So yeah, guys, I love you guys, and to the 2, 3 of you guys watching, thank you so much. I know eventually more people will watch this video, so shout out to you guys in the future. But to the 2, 3 of you guys watching this, thank you so much, guys, and I love you, and I'll talk to you guys soon.